What's up, guys? Wanted to do a follow-up video on a tournament that I just played in at Grasshopper Comics through Red Steel New York and War Games Consortium. They did some prize support and stuff, so it was a really fun day. Overall, I came in first overall out of 3 rounds. It's a 1,500 point tournament, and just barely got the undefeated thing, so I was really close. It was an awesome game, and I had a really good time. So what I wanted to do is just go over some of the units that I used and the strategy behind them and some tactics and stuff. So I was running a 6-man Terminator Assault Squad with Thunderhammer Storm Shields. Those guys were running in at 270 points. And basically what I did with them was pair them up with a Sanguinary Priest, which you could see as the apothecary for that Grey Knight apothecary right there. Basically what I did was I kind of put him in the middle, deep strike them in, wrapped all the guys around him, and getting a feel no pain roll, even when you're going to hit with like plasma and stuff like that, getting the 3-up save, and then getting the 5-up, or getting the 2-up and 5-up. When you're making those rolls, it really makes a huge difference, and it can be a game changer for you. So at most of the games that I played, the 85-point Sanguinary Priest really made up his points. So that was a pretty good tactic there. I run a second Sanguinary Priest with the jump pack, and I could attach him to various jump pack squads, which what I normally do, what I'll get to. In the list, there's 2. You can see in the back, there's a squad of 5 guys with the Razorback. I run a 5-man squad with a Meltagun, and then the sergeant has an Infernus pistol and Meltabombs. And I run a Razorback with the Las Plaz setup, so it's the Twin Link Plasma and the Las Cannon. And that Assault Squad runs in at 130, and the Razorback's at 55 points. So I'm going to scroll over a little bit here. In the middle, you see a nice little Predator. Do the auto cannon, Las Cannon configuration. Runs at 135 points. A really awesome unit right there. The Armor 13 is pretty tough to crack, and just the long-range firepower, having Blood Angels, fast vehicles, being able to move around and just snipe at stuff is fantastic. Yeah, he did really well in all my games. So my headquarters is a Librarian with a Storm Shield, Terminator armor. I think that comes in at 145 points. I'm still tinkering around with what book powers to use with this list, and it also depends on the opponent and stuff like that. But tough guy to kill. You can attach him to the Terminator squad and deep strike with the Priest. I did that a couple times. That was pretty fun. You could use Biomancy, Telekinesis, Divination, and one other one which I don't really use, but I was using Divination for the Primaris power, which is the Prescience, so you can reroll hits. And I was also using there's a power where you can reroll. You roll 3 dice for your reserves, and you choose the result that you want. So that was actually helping me a little bit and getting my Terminators in when I wanted them. So that's just a thought there, because sometimes if your Terminators, you need them to come in and they come in turn 4, sometimes it's too late, and that could cost you the game. So behind that Apothecary or Sanguinary Priest, and there's a 5-man squad there. I was actually running those as Vanguard veterans, and the sergeant here comes with the power sword. And I was running them stock plus with the jump packs, obviously, and then plus Meltabombs on all of them. And they're pretty expensive. They come in at 190 points. but I use them for 2 roles. One, well, really one role. They're kind of a suicide squad, but the heroic intervention's awesome. Something your opponent can't really defend against, and the melt-the-bombs make them ideal for taking out like land raiders or anything that has a heavy tank, or tank squadrons, stuff like that are exposed in the backfield. You drop them down, Descent of Angels, so most likely you're going to get them in when you want, and they're probably not going to scatter that much. They're going to scatter max 6 inches. And one of the games I was in, I was able to pull that on a land raider, and I squeaked by and dropped 5 melted bombs, or I think I stuck 3 on there, and it was pretty cool. They made their points back, and then they're fast, they bounce around pretty cool. So kind of an expensive unit, but you're really paying the points for the heroic intervention. So you could use that squad to take out long fangs in the backfield, tie up units. Really they're great at tying up weak assault units that are in the backfield that are shooty. I mean, just to kind of cause havoc to your enemy. So scrolling over a little bit more, you'll see the other assault squad with the Razorback. So that's identical to the other one. Now, my other troop choice, my third troop choice, so I have two Razorback assault squads, and then my third troop choice is a 10-man assault squad, and that squad runs in at 230 points. So I run the sergeant has a power sword and melta bombs. I run 2 melta guns in the unit, and then you have the other guys. The tactic that I use with this, depending on the player, if it's kill points, you can keep them together. But what I really like doing is combat squatting them and put the melta guns in one unit. So they pretty much just come down, Descent of Angels, and you've got a land raider, boom, it's dead. I mean, really, it's hard to defend against. They could just come down and really blow up those valuable armored targets. And another huge thing with this army that I noticed, and I just switched over playing my Blood Angels again. I played them in 5th. They were my 5th edition army. Love playing them. Did a lot of Razorback stuff with Predators and everything. Also did the Descent of Angels army, which was a lot of fun. But now in 6, you kind of have to have a hybrid because you can't reserve everyone. So what I've noticed is we for the tournament, we're just using the book mission. So we did a random book mission, and pretty much almost guaranteed Vanguard strike almost every mission. So that can come up big sometimes, and just getting in the backfield and contesting objectives, sometimes grabbing objectives with that. You're allowed. Allows you to keep your Razorback squads in the back, sniping with the Predator, just putting shots downfield, and then turn 4, turn 5, you can get your assault marines out to take the objectives that you have on your side. So those are more the backfield stuff. With the Librarian, you can use them defensively. You can use them offensively. Offensively stick them in the Terminator squad with the Priest. Deep strike them in, play around with some of your psychic powers or whatever you want to use there, just to boost that squad, depending on the powers that you get. Or you can keep him in back. I just kind of hit him behind the Predator by himself to give the prescience, so you're really hitting with the las cannons and auto cannons. Also, another thing I noticed with 6th edition with vehicles, I was playing a lot of Tyranids for 6th edition since it came out, and I pretty much this week just started playing Blood Angels again, and I noticed that the vehicles actually kind of survive longer. Like they can give a lot of output. You can't stun lock them really. So you shot at my Razorback and you got a glancing hit. Well, it's not going to get stunned. So it just takes a whole point off. Now I can move that thing. I can move it 12. I could flat out 12 and have a scoring unit on the other side of the board. So boom. I mean, tactically, it's fantastic. So what I was doing was with another tactic for the assault squad is I attached the priest with the white helmet and the white armor. There you can see the icons there. I put him with the squad with the sergeant and the 5 other regular guys, plop them down, and depending where my other units land, kind of give the feel no pain bubble, and you can position that. And this game now is just all about positioning, really, and it's a lot more tactically fun in my opinion. So I'm wondering if I missed anything here that I wanted to talk about. But yeah, I mean, played it pretty well. So 1,500 points. Just another panoramic view here. Pan across. Oh, by the way, the Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators in this edition, they were good in last edition. I think they're even better in this edition because I was up against some Grey Knights today, and or actually, was it a couple days ago? Whatever, I can't remember. They just murder Grey Knights. I mean, because you're unless they got swords. I mean, I played a Drago wing with 2 squads of paladins, and they made short work of those guys because they're instant killing, getting rid of the feeling of pain, and you know, they did a really good job. They're probably my MVPs for most of the games because they really put the pressure on your opponent, and they're just really hard to kill. I mean, I was playing a game a few days ago with them, and for some reason, when you're rolling like 2 dice at a time or 3 dice at a time, because you have to do that with the characters and stuff, so you've got 2 guys in front, let's say the apothecary or the priest is behind them, and let's say they did 10 wounds, rolling 2 dice at a time, for whatever reason, you keep making saves, and you know, the 2-up save, and then if you fail one, you get the feel no pain. I mean, they're bosses. So I know this was kind of a long video. Wanted to just give an overview of an army idea. If you guys like it, play it. Got the Dark Vengeance box in the back, just picked it up, and kind of excited about it. I still have a lot of grenade stuff to build, but I'm happy I got the limited edition and the small rulebook, so I don't have to lug around the big rulebook anymore, so that's huge. So I hope you guys liked the video. Please like, comment, have a discussion, that'd be great, and subscribe, so more to come.